Welcome back everyone to Real Farm and our playthrough on the Grunes Tal map, the new map included as part of the free DLC. At least for now, it is free for all of those who own the game, and I believe all of those who purchase the game for a limited amount of time going forward. So in our first video, we got a full barn load of cows going here. We've got all of those here in the barn, 75 of them in total. So we've got started with some feed for them, and we've got our slurry tank over here to begin emptying the slurry so that we can keep their cleanliness up. All right, but today, one of the things we want to do is we want to speed up the time, but then we also want to look into possibly getting some sheep over here. Now, if we take a look at the sheep under the livestock, we can see that they're going to need food. Well, we know where to get the food. We can get that at the supply store. Water, which means we'll need a water tank. And then the cleanliness. I'm not exactly sure how we deal with the cleanliness. What is this? Okay, this is where the food will go. All right, this is the manure. That's the other piece of this puzzle. And this is where the water goes. We'll have to see about the cleanliness and how that works out. Okay, so we're going to need a couple of new implements. We're going to need something to deal with the manure, and then we're going to need a water tank as well. Of course, fortunately for us, a source of water is very close nearby. So let's take a look in the shop and just see what kind of money we're looking at. All right, so here's the manure spreaders. And for 75 horsepower, this is probably only one, yes. So the others require a much beefier tractor than what we have. So 7,500 liters there. So basically the same size as what we were dealing with the slurry tank. All right, so 23,000 there. We'll go ahead and purchase that. And we'll go ahead and, I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and buy it. And then we also need a water tank. And wow, okay, only one choice here, $9,800. So again, not all that big of a deal. It does say 110 horsepower is what's required. That's going to be interesting. We're going to go ahead and buy this as well. We may need to take out a loan, because if we cannot actually move the water tank with our existing tractor, which based on what we've seen, we should not be able to. Let's go ahead and unhook there, and let's see. I'm going to come over here and get rid of this weight, because I am about, let's go. Let's make sure it drops it very slowly. Yeah, there we go. Let's hop out, because I'm going to reset this tractor under vehicles, tractor, and reset. All right, there we go. So now the tractor is gone. Let's head down and see if we can actually do anything with this water tank. It's a pretty good sized water tank now that you get up close to it. All right, let's see if we can actually pull this. I'm hoping that those horsepower numbers were mere suggestions. All right, it says not enough horsepower to operate the machine, which may mean that it will not allow us to fill it up with water and move it. I don't know. We're about to find out, though. Because, and this is going to be very important, because if we cannot operate it, then that means we're going to have to purchase yet another tractor. Which is not a bad idea. I enjoy purchasing things in this game, so that is definitely not going to be the end of the world. But we'll see how it operates. What we could do is simply have one tractor to deal with the cows and one tractor to deal with the sheep. That will enable us to have a whole bunch of equipment by the time we're done with this, which is perfectly fine with me. Not at all efficient, but it is perfectly fine with me. All right, so we're able to pull it at 45, which is the maximum speed we've seen with any of the other implements we've been pulling. So that part looks good. I like the sound of that. We'll just have to see if it'll let us fill it and then move it around the farm to where we need it. I guess another option we've got is to sell the 75 horsepower tractor and then go ahead and purchase a more powerful tractor that way and still stick with one tractor for the time being. So we'll see how it goes. All right, first test is, can we fill the implement? Okay, so it's 10,000. All right, looks good. We're still able to move around. I don't know if I can get through this little area over here. Let's just try to go through the barn. Woo, just made it. Okay, now can we see while we're in the barn? A little bit. All right, again, it keeps telling me not enough horsepower to operate the machine. We don't have any animals over here just yet, so this might not. Okay, let's go ahead and hop out. And now we need to move over. Oops, there we go. We need to come back over to the livestock. And let's see about the sheep. So 125 each. Select those, and we can get 30 sheep. How much is that going to cost? Oh yeah, very little money. So $3,750 for that. So that took basically no money compared to the cows particularly. All right, let's go ahead, move over. Let's see, where do we need to go? We need to purchase some more feed, but we'll come back in a moment and do that. All right, so it says not enough. Nope, it let us do it. We went from, I believe it was 10,000 down to 6,000 here. Let's look under livestock, sheep, and water shows at 100%. All right, so we'll keep our eye on that. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but it seems to be okay with the reduced horsepower tractor. It's just going to give us that that annoying message across. Okay, that looks to have worked. Oh, now we can't get out. We are stuck. Why are we stuck? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. We made it. Oh, good gracious. So we're going to run over everything, but eventually we're going to get out of here. Whew, okay, we made it. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, watch out. Let's don't jackknife it. Let's go and just put it right about there. And we're going to leave it for now. All right, now we need to get them some food. And my guess is the amount we have remaining for food is going to be plenty for them. All right, come on. Turn, turn, turn. There we go. So let's go ahead and run through and pick up the remainder of that food. We only have 1,000 left in the tipper. All right, let's get the remaining 2,000. Really wish there was a way to check. Just fill it up rather than having to mess with the arrows. All right, let's see if we can make this corner. All right, we'll just head right through the barn. As much as I can see anyway. And then we'll head over and give some food to these guys. All right, did we hit it? Yeah, we did. There we go. So that took all of the food, all 3,000 of it. And let's click on the sheep. And okay, good. So that gets us to 100% all across the board there. We've got 2 wool. We'll keep an eye on that. And then, of course, they will start producing manure. So we need to head back over to the shop and pick up our manure spreader. Let's go ahead and drop off our tipper. And now we are ready to reset our tractor once again. There we go. So now we need to pick up our manure spreader and bring it back. So it looks like we're going to be okay with just this one tractor for now, although pretty soon we might want to pick up another tractor just for ease of use, so we can keep some certain things always hooked up and ready to go. And I'm thinking our tipper is going to be one of those items, because we're going to be dealing out a lot of food, particularly once we get the time sped up. And with that in mind, let's go ahead and come into options and time scale. There we go. Let's take it. So we've got slow, normal, and fast. We want to go fast. Okay. A rainy afternoon in Europe. Oh, and now we're done. So we're back to sun. So you can see in the top right hand corner just how quickly the time is passing now. It looks to be basically 1 minute per second at this point. Alright, and while we are on our way, we'll pass by the shop, and that reminds me that we need to purchase some more food. So we'll have it ready for when the cows and sheep need to be replenished. Alright, so we're underway now with two types of animals. We've got our cows as well as our sheep, and we'll see how much money we're able to make as time goes forward. Who knows, we might actually be losing money on this venture because we're having to purchase all the food. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, let's get our manure spreader back. Let's take a quick look at the livestock. And the sheep, nope, we don't have any manure just yet. Okay, let's take a look at the cows. Food's still doing good. Slurry needs to be empty. Cleanliness, everything looking good. We've moved up 1% on the health. So you can see it's going to take a little while. We're going to go ahead and leave the manure spreader right about there. Okay, let's head back over to the shop and purchase some additional feed. Animal feed. Let's get 10,000 more there, because that appears as though that's going to last us a little while. $3,400. Okay, and our terrible beaten up looking car over there, that worries me. Alright, now we're back on the farm. Okay, and we need to hook back up to the slurry tank. This is where I really think having multiple tractors are going to help us out. Again, just for ease of use. And besides, what use is the money in this game if you can't use it to have a little fun? Alright, so now we have emptied the slurry tank. Let's go back over to our spot, and we will empty this out. I assume I can just empty this anywhere, even on the ground right here. But for now, we'll stick with the field. We'll move a little farther into the field, and let's see if I can remember how we did that. Okay, the Y button does that for me. All right, we'll let that empty. Now, another test. Can we just leave this going? So we're at 10:55. I'm going to exit. All right, and it still appears to be going. Now, a great thing would be is if we could disconnect altogether, take off with our tractor, and still leave this thing working. Now, that shouldn't really work, but who knows, it might. All right, so we were at 10:55 when we got out, and yes, it continues to empty. Okay, I like it. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at our cows. So they're down to 80% food, which makes sense. We've got a lot of cows, and it makes sense that they would go through the food pretty quickly. The slurry tank is going to be, that looks like it's going to be one of our biggest tasks is to keep that empty, because remember, we don't have that much capacity, and with the way we're having to empty this, not really needing it at this particular point in time as fertilizer, this could be a challenge for us with everything else we're going to try to do. We've got a little bit of manure here from the sheep, but otherwise everything looks good. Health is working toward 100%, and we'll have the same sort of decision to make with the sheep as we do with the cows. Do we keep the sheep around once they reach 100% for their wool production, or do we continually swap them out and start all over again, work them up to 100%, sell them, and so on? Now, the interesting thing is the pigs, well, it's pretty simple there, because they don't produce anything other than the manure, so no reason to keep them around once they reach 100%. All right, and they require the same sort of things as what we're dealing with on the sheep. All right, let's see how close we are to being done here. Okay, 695, 690. Okay, so it's working on it. We are heavily fertilizing this one area. All right, so now, let's see, since we don't need any additional equipment, we can look into the pigs. But first, let's take a quick look at our sheep over here. All right, now there are no outlets. I had mentioned earlier that I was pretty sure that the wool would be, why don't we have anything in here? There should be water in this trough. But I had mentioned that I believe the wool is sold automatically, unlike in other farming games that we're all familiar with, where you have to deal with the forklift and pallets and all that sort of thing, unless you have a mod, that is. But it looks like, I mean, we've got an area for food, we've got an area for the manure, and then we've got an area for water. So there's no area for us to pick up any sort of a pallet of any kind. Okay, so it looks like we're in business there, and the game is going to automatically sell that for us. Okay, let's move over to the pigs location, and you can see we've got an area for the food right there. I believe this will be the manure. Yeah, there we go. Manure and a nice area inside there. And as we move over to the other portion, you can see that right here would be the area for the water. All right, so very similar to what we saw with the sheep. Let's go ahead and move over to the livestock. Let's open up the livestock shop. And let's select our, the pigs rather. Select them, and we can have 30 of those. So only $1,950 there. And I'm not paying a whole lot of attention on, you know, the efficiency, how much money we can make off of each of these. I did that in the past. I think they've made some updates, so I'm not going to really worry about it here. We're going to have some fun with this, and that's about it. I'm not going to worry about the efficiency of, let's see, food level of your pigs is 100%. Yes, we know that. We literally just bought them. All right, but at this point, let's see, if I unhook it, that's what should have happened. It stopped right there, but for now, with our one tractor, we're going to go ahead and get into the tipper, get some food lined up for our pigs. Okay. And can we make this corner? Oh, it's close, but we did make it. All right, let's turn our lights on. Or at least, well, the headlights anyway. I'll have to look and see how we turn on the rest of the lights. Let's go ahead and fill this up with the full 8,000 right now. And what we'll do is we'll fill up as much as the pigs need, and then from there we'll simply come back and shell out the rest, probably to the cows. Alright, let's see if we can get over here and trigger this. Do we trigger it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it took about 3,000 of that, I believe, is the number. So that'll get them taken care of on food. Now they'll need some water. And we'll be back momentarily to take care of that. But first, let's fill up our cows on food. Ooh, watch out. Can barely see where I'm going. Alright, come on. There we go. Okay, so we still have a little bit left, even after that. Alright, let's drop off our tipper right over there. And now we need to pick up our water tank. And I almost left our manure spreader right in the way. Alright, there we go. Alright, so 6,000 water should be plenty. I would imagine we only used 4,000, I believe, for the sheep. Alright, daily produce of your cows has been sold for $5,341. Okay, so that would be the milk. And can we empty this out? Come on now. Alright, so now we're down to 2,000 water. And most importantly, we are really in a bind here as far as how we're going to get out of here. So, can we go around? We have no visibility whatsoever right now. Oh, watch out. Oh, did we tip it over? Almost. Can we move? Okay, yeah, that's some terrible placement. We need to move. All right, let's go. Oh, really? A hard set over here? You're not going to let me go any farther than that? Okay, well, this is just useless because I am basically stuck at this point. Yeah, it's got me stuck over here. You got to let me have a way to get out. All right, looks like I'm going to have to reset this back to the store, and we'll pick it up from there. All right, so health, 44% now on our cows. We're going to need to get back onto the slurry. Food is now looking great. All of this stuff looks great there. Everything is looking good for the pigs. Sheep, same thing. We'll get on to the manure. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I'll tell you what, I need to climb back in just for a second because I need to unhitch that. So I guess that tells me that we won't want to try that again. Okay, vehicles. Let's reset. And the water tank. Reset that as well. Exactly like we planned it. Alright, and yeah, after this video, I'm going to have to go and look. Ooh, what just happened? What just appeared? Those fireflies, lightning bugs, as we call them around here. Alright, yeah, we're going to have to find the rest of the lights and how to trigger those. Maybe... There we go. There we go, headlamps. Wow, that's not much. Alright, there we go. Now we got a little light. Alright, I would love to get rid of that message about the horsepower. But I guess that's the way the game is going to bug us to death until we finally purchase a tractor that is appropriate for this implement. Okay, wow, it gets light pretty early here. 3:30 in the morning, and it's starting to get light. Definitely not the way it is where I'm at. At 3:30, it is dark. All right, but fortunately for us, we don't have too much of a journey from the shop back to our property, our very small property at this point. I would love a way to further expand on the number of cows and sheep and so on that we're able to maintain. I would love that. That would be very nice. All right, so rule of thumb, turn left next time outside of the water. All right, this thing is jackknifing very easily. All right, let's try it again. All right, this will be good. Just set it back here in this corner somewhere. That is perfectly fine. And now we need to run back out here and get back to the slurry. Now, one of our options here is we could use the workers in the future and simply fill up the slurry tank, because you have to have the implement full in order for the workers to use it. So we could simply fill up the slurry tank and then, you know, take it to a field and set the guys loose to work with it from there. All right, so 3,900 this time. We'll go ahead and get all of that, and we will take it over to the field. And once again, we are going to provide a lot of nutrients to a very small portion of this field. Okay, so we'll let that work for a little while. And while we're at it, let's take a quick glance. Tell you what, we haven't been over to see our pigs yet. This definitely doesn't look like 30 pigs, that's for sure. All right, we got our pigs. I'm sure they don't mind me just getting right up beside them here. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem. Got their housing. All right, so let's take a quick glance at our finances. If we come down to the other, you can see there is the amount we got for the milk. We've got our equipment maintenance that will come in each day. If we take a quick look at our livestock, we are going to have some work to do to keep this slurry number down. And because if it gets too out of hand, we won't have enough time to empty it before it gets all the way full. And if it gets all the way full, the cleanliness number will come way down. And then that will lead to a decrease in health. And that is no good for our cows. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And eventually we're going to have to upgrade our tractor and get, you know, bigger implements that will hold more capacity for that. But for now, I think we're doing okay. Okay, we're going to make some money each day, a little bit more money each day as our health increases here. Take a quick look at our pigs. Their health should continue to go up. We'll have to keep the manure taken care of, and food and everything looks good. Sheep, same thing. We'll have to take care of the manure, but the amount of wool we get each day should increase as their health increases. All right, so far so good. We now have a little bit going. I'm not really messing with the chickens right now. Don't really have a plan to deal with them, but so far so good. We've now gotten into 3 of the 4 animals here on the map, and what I would consider to be a good start. And in the future, we'll be looking at upgrading our equipment, probably purchasing some additional equipment, as eventually we will get into working these fields, probably for grass that we can use as feed for the animals. So that'll do it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more of our playthrough of Real Farm.